I can never understand why black people give each other divine names, strange names, like the Messiah, like Emos, Moses. Why do we give each other divine names? When you give your child a divine name, I expect him to become a lawyer, a doctor. Not end up serving time in prison with a divine name. Not ending up fighting in Wendy's or Popeyes with a divine name. Not rapping with a divine name. But this is what happens in the black community. We call each other kings and queens and nubile and oh shit, I've got somebody behind me. Right? Right? Yeah, with all these divine names, with all the melanin names that we give each other, it does not make any sense at all. It does not. Because at the end of the day, your name's supposed to represent your character. Your name's supposed to represent who you are as an individual. But when you look at it, I've got somebody behind me and I'm playing a video. But when you look at it, you begin to realize some of the names, like what's the name? Not Alicia. Oh, another name, right? Oh God, Cleopatra, which is an African name. These kind of names that we give each other as if we're royalty. And look how divided we are. Look how messed up our community is.
Oh, pirate, there my mind. This old I to the mansion ship. Minute after they took high from the bottomless pit.
And yet we give each other divine names, call each other melanin and Nubian, kings and queens, Moses and Messiah. And I'm thinking, it's a joke. It's a joke. You should call each other Peter and John, and Kevin, because these silly names you give each other, Hebrew names. You give each other African names, and yet you have a white partner. You give each other African names. We're jokes.
Won't you hear me sing these songs of freedom?
You can see why the Chinese don't take us seriously. You can see why Chinese go to Africa and own all the resources, because they see that we're not all there. All these divine names and biblical names. And with all that, they're serving time in prison. We're jokes. Wake up.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can ease our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them